Hello everyone, 257 here and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be talking about a few bugs that completely ruined the game. They nerf mob farms a bit, and by a bit I mean a lot. Before I go on about how mojang completely ruined the game, there are a few bugs that they did manage to fix in the recent updates. One of them being the despawn bug. If there was any mob farther than 32 blocks away, then it would have a random chance to despawn every game tick. And while that's not a bug, the bug was that it should have had a 30-second immunity to despawning after spawning or taking damage. But in some of the previous versions, this immunity did not exist and mobs were despawning before they entered your kill chamber and really reducing your rates in mob farms. The other bug that they did manage to fix is bug with slime spawning, and it wasn't restricted to any Y level and they would try to spawn everywhere in your world, and that would reduce the spawning rates of other mobs. But now they have reduced their spawning to below Y40. They did also spawn below Y40 previously as well, but now they don't even try to spawn above it, which helps a lot for mob farms because now other mobs have a higher chance to try spawning, and in general mob farm rates will increase above Y40 unless of course it's a slime farm. Not exactly sure in which version these bugs are fixed in, either in the current full release or in the betas, because I haven't really played 1.19. The only thing wild about it is the people complaining about performance issues. First bug on our list which affects the most mob farms is the looting bug, and if I was to kill this creeper with a regular sword, then it has the chance to drop either 0, 1 or 2 drops, so the average will be around 1 drop per creeper. But if I was to kill it with a looting 3 sword, then it should drop between 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 drops, and the average should have been 2.5 drops, but the chance that it drops 0 gunpowder is still the same as if I had just killed it without looting, so that greatly reduces the average drop rates to 2 from just 2.5. If this bug was to get fixed, then most mob farms like passive mob farms, general mob farms or creeper farms would get a flat 25% increase in rates, so long as it uses looting 3 to kill the mobs. And it's not hard bugs to fix as well, and fixes have been proposed for it on the bug report, which I will leave a link to down in the description for each of these bugs, so you can go upvote them. The second bug on our list has to do with piston based head trident killers, and it isn't really one bug, so you have to relog twice for it to happen, because it's actually a combination of two different bugs. When you relog the first time, then the trident glitches into the glass block in two directions. Now as you can see here, when I relogged, two of these tridents are inside the glass block, and this is when the second bug can act on this. If I throw a trident on the side of this block, and it shouldn't really fall down because it's attached to the block, but when I relog it falls down. As you can see, the trident has fallen down, and it didn't fall down in the TK, but when you update the trident it falls down because the bug exists, and I don't really know why and how exactly this happens, but if you update these ones, these do not fall down because it only happens in certain directions. But this trident falling from the side of the blocks does happen in every direction. It's just the trident glitching into the wrong directions. Now if you want to work around this, you can use triangulars that turn off with the piston in the off state when you relog or go away, or you can use ORATV's triangular, which is relog proof, or just use trapdoor triangulars because they're faster anyways. The next bug is experience orbs pushing around other mobs, and they shouldn't really have a collision box, but they do because of a bug. And as you saw there, they can push other mobs, which really affects trend killers because head trend killers use water streams mainly to push mobs, and if there is XP pushing them in the other direction, then it won't really work. And for example, if the creeper dies here and the trend killer is over there, then its XP dropped here will push creepers behind it backwards, preventing them from entering the TK as soon as they would have otherwise. Remember when they tried to reduce the nether mob cap to 8? Well, they did it to reduce magma cubes spawning everywhere around your world. But they didn't end up fixing it, and their bug fix was actually allowing magma cubes to spawn in more places in your world now. So the bug before was that the big magma cubes were able to spawn in 2 by 2 areas, even though their collision box was bigger than that. But you could work around that previously by having an entity or a liquid in the area, and that would block the magma cubes from spawning. But after they tried fixing the bugs, they changed some things about the magma cube collision checks, and now they can spawn in entities and other liquids as well, and that has the effect of allowing them to spawn in more places as well as spawning in larger amounts, because previously when trying to spawn in a herd the first one would block the other ones, but that doesn't happen anymore. After this bug fix, the magma cubes are able to spawn anywhere a creeper would be able to spawn. So if you have like a trapdoor right here, then they would be able to spawn under it, and there is nothing you can do to block them without blocking other mobs as well. So yeah, you have to live with magma cubes spawning in your fortress farms. And if you thought that the magma bug was annoying, then this next one is really stupid. As you might know, drowns should be able to spawn inside of dripstone caves, and Mojang did copy the code from river biomes so that they would be able to spawn here. But they forgot one major thing, that drowns in the river biomes spawn on the surface, but dripstone caves, they should be able to spawn in the caves because that's where the dripstone caves are. But because they copied it from the rivers, they also only try to spawn in the surface of dripstone caves where they can't spawn because it's not a cave. Now if Mojang was to correctly fix this bug this time, then we could be able to build multiple layered drown farms, which would be really helpful as current copper farms are really slow and you need to AFK for a long time to get copper for a build. This next bug has to do with mobs causing lag when pathfinding, and this husk is currently trying to get to the villager but it can't reach it, so it will try all the different paths it can take, which causes a lot of lag. And if you increase the number of husks, then the lag also increases, but it doesn't increase linearly, so more husks doesn't mean that the lag will also increase in the same ratio. Also, the area that the husks have also affects this bug, and the larger the area that they can pathfind to, the greater the lag. And if you have them in a 1 by 1 area, then they won't really be causing any lag at all. I'm saying husks, but this bug affects all the mobs that try to pathfind to something but can't reach it. Now this bug will cause all your farms that use things like turtle eggs or villagers to aggro mobs, and it will cause a lot of lag in these types of farms, so beware of this. The next bug also has to do with lag and experience orbs. You might know that XP orbs can cause a lot of lag if they build up, and in a lot of mob farms they can build up, and due to this reason in Java edition the XP orbs bundle up together to form a single XP orb so that the number of entities can be maintained. But on Bedrock this just does not happen, and entities can keep increasing and this can lag out your world. Next few bugs on the list don't really nerf your mob farms, but they do affect how you make them in creative. And the first bug has to do with structure blocks not properly copying entities. As you can see, we have that structure right there, and I will load it a few times so that there is more than one villager over there. And now as you can see there are 4 villagers right here, but due to a bug there is actually only one villager, and the game doesn't copy the entities to the location but rather deletes the first one and then pastes it on the second place, which in this case is the same place, but you get what I mean. And if I reload, the first 3 villagers and the original one, including the original one, will get deleted and only the last villager that I loaded will exist. As you can see, the other 3 villagers do not exist anymore, and this can really be an issue if you're making things like trend colors and copying them to different places, and the trends will just go poof from all of them except one. Bug has to do with HSS and data driven spawning rules, which the HSS do not follow. If this was an HSS under this class block, then mobs shouldn't be able to spawn on the nether vault, but it's an HSS so they would spawn there anyways. And yeah, this limits ways to block mob spawns on HSS and other things. And it's not just limited to nether vault, they don't follow any data driven spawn rules. And as you can see that enderman is teleporting around as it wishes, but you might notice it's not supposed to be able to teleport on top of glass, but it doesn't care because bugs, and its range is also not correct and it can teleport a lot farther away than it should be able to. And because of this, making enderman farms can be really annoying because they can teleport a lot farther away, and if you have any glass in an old enderman farm around it that the enderman didn't teleport onto, it will now. Probably the one that annoys the most people is the XP desync bug, and XP orbs when they enter water desync. As you can see, it does not appear to be moving with water, but it does fall down into the void and eventually disappears. So it's just visual, the XP isn't actually there, and there is a pack for this that fixes the bug by Golden Helmet, and I'll leave a link to that in the description. But it can be really annoying if you're just trying to find where the XP is getting stuck and you can't really see where the XP is because of this. I would like to thank Ore TV, Arc Thunder and Rufus Atticus, and of course Golden Helmet for all their testing on these bugs, and I hope that if you find all of these bugs annoying, then you will go upvote them. The links to the bug report will be in the description, so yeah, go upvote so that Mojang fixes them.